Little bitty set screws, my favorite. These are the worst. I would advise that you get yourself a screw gun or a screwdriver with magnet head, a tip. It's not the only way you're going to be able to do this without struggling. It's going to be a struggle no matter what. If you got big hands. If you got little teeny tiny hands, you might be able to work this. Okay, guys. So today on this old ass house, we're going to be replacing this chandelier with a ceiling fan. Home Depot, Hampton Bay, Home Depot special. Of course, everybody knows and loves Hampton Bay. So 52-inch Rockport, let's see, indoor 52-inch indoor ceiling fan. We're going to take it up right here. This is an old piece. I believe this is here with the original construction. I don't know, actually. But it's, as you can see, it's lived a full life. And we're going to be replacing it. I don't know what to expect when I take that down. But just like everything else, you never know what you're going to find in a old house like this. So let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is a really old piece. I'm not exactly sure where to start, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to try and remove this piece, this glass first before anything. Well, I guess the first thing we could do is take these bulbs out. Hopefully we can do this without breaking anything. However, let's see what we got right here. Let me show you what I'm working with. So it looks like I take this wing nut out, loosen these two, twist it, and it's going to drop. That's what it looks like. We'll see. Nope. I've gotten a lot of flack, I guess the word is, from other guys for using this one right here, but I love this thing, man. It's got a wide handle. My hands aren't what they used to be. Also, it's got a ratchet handle, so I can something's really tight, switch it to ratchet, and makes it just a little easier. Now, it's about to be at the end of its life. I've had this thing for about 5 years now, so it's not going to last too much longer. The whole thing is turning. There we go. All right. Anybody out there want some vintage glass? This is nice. I really dislike getting rid of stuff like this. This is probably going to sit in my stuff for a long time because I just don't want to get rid of it. Oh, okay. So now we're going to drop this. Now, if you're not going to use a fixture anymore, I would highly advise that you save these type of, I'm not sure what they are. They're like caps. But if you lose one on another fixture, they're really hard to come by to replace. Like this actually has two different kinds, it looks like. All right. Black, white, no ground, and the whole thing was being held up by those two tiny little. So that whole chandelier was being held up by this cap screw. It was threaded 2, maybe 3 turns before it popped off. Real quick, gonna check it. This is an old one. It doesn't beep anymore. I would advise that you guys keep up with your tools. Things like this are important. I'm just a guy on the internet doing it myself. If you're not familiar with electricity, this part you might want to ask someone else to do. It's up to you. No power. Again, this is one of the things that can be cut from the power source, or I'm sorry, from the switch. Unless you have a third leg of power coming in for like a series, you shouldn't have to. Oh, I have to clean that and leave hand marks on the ceiling. Unless there is a third leg of power coming through to put something in a series, you shouldn't have to hit the breaker. But again, if you're not very knowledgeable, just go ahead and hit the breaker. It's not going to be a big deal. Something like this should only take you about 30 minutes or an hour to do. Stuff in your fridge should be fine. Just go ahead and get your drill. But most older fixtures, this one's a flathead. So change out the bit. But this will save you a whole lot of time and shoulder strength. Because these screws, they're machine threaded. They've got 1,000,000 threads. You'll be here forever. Comes with some LEDs, 52-inch width. I'm assuming that's the from here to here. Let's open it up. I also would advise you go over the instructions. I've done this 1,000,000 times, but it's always still a good idea just to review to see if there is anything new. So they're pre-installed, pre-insulated screws. So this says to mount the motor into place and snap the things on afterwards. First the blade brackets, then the blades, and then attach the light after the blades have been on while it's hanging. Okay, that's what the instructions tell you. I'm going to tell you what though, if you're ever on a job site, like you're temping at a place and they're wanting you to put this together, most guys still do it the opposite way. They will still set up a little, use your box, set up that fan upside down, put it all together, and then hang it last. That typically will save you a lot of time, assuming you know what you're doing. It's been over a year. I'm just going to go ahead and hang it the way the instructions say. So all you guys out there who are doing this for a living, get mad at me all you want. But I'm going to follow the instructions. I've never seen one that you can just snap into place. It's the mounting bracket. There it is. Here we go. This thing's heavier than that fucking chandelier. Like, I didn't have to take these screws. Well, I guess I did to remove the old bracket. So this is something that to this day, to this very moment, I'm still getting wrong. I've always done this. For whatever reason, I put this on without putting on the cap. This stupid thing has got to go first. Now we run the wires. And now we put the linchpin. And now you put the cotter pin. I'm a fan of coiling things up. Two things gives it a nice pro look. And then most guys in my field don't do that, so when I open something up and I see this, I can say, I probably did that. This is my work. Just get your driver or a pencil or pen. Oils in there. I've got several different types of wire strippers. I've gotten pretty used to my Husky needle nose, but you can just pick up a decent pair of Harbor Freight or even Amazon. I'll put a link down below in the description. Pick up a pair. Way worth it. I know guys can get their knife and cut this and everything, but why? So one's going to power your fan, the other's going to power your lights.
Here. There's two. I didn't like it that long, and now it's too short. Let's just go with that. Alright, making progress. Alright, our power is connected.
Now the blades are working. Okay. 2, 3. All right. So these things do have pre-installed screws, right? This is nice. Look at that. I used to have to hold on to each individual little bitty screw in. And these are the fan where the blades snap onto. I like this. Man, this cuts time in half, I think. This used to be the most tedious. This is where you would have to either sit down, mount this thing on your own little homemade styrofoam mount. There we go. And then you use this little pilot or this little handy little and these screws you want to go all the way down. You don't want to over tighten. You don't want to put any torque on it. but you still want to make sure you're snug. These will cause the whole thing to flop around if they're loose. Everything's wrapped individually, right? I'm supposed to freaking pay 25 cents for every plastic bag because of the environment. I'm supposed to stop using plastic straws, but we can wrap each little teeny tiny piece of hardware in its own special piece of plastic that's never going to get used again. Of course. That's why the people at the EPA get paid so much. They know better. Just pop them on. Okay. And now we're just putting these on, laying it flat like that, and sliding it forward. Just like that. That is something else. I'll tell you. This is pretty self-explanatory here, white to white. It plugs in, no wire nut needed. Magnetic spool head comes into play. And bam, that magnet. You don't have that magnet. Good luck. Even now, this damn thing don't want to go in. Okay. Now we gotta go around with it. Now it comes with these pretty little frosted glass covers, diffusers. You just take off this plastic ring, and there you go. And if you're not aware, most lamps with something like this have this plastic ring. You can buy extra rings like this in the same section that they have this. You know, if it breaks or. These are also something that if you're getting rid of the old fan, you might want to keep if you're a maintenance tech. These come in handy, especially if you work in hotels. People are not friendly to hotel lamps for some reason. People can be very, very abusive with hotel lamps for some reason. Okay, we're getting there, closer and closer. So it looks like they've improved their design. It's a lot easier to install these weights are a little bit heavier. Keep the chain from flapping around. Overall, I like it. Nice new ceiling fan and a mess for me to clean. Well, that's all I've got for you guys today. See you next time.
Not without my TV. No, but seriously, bring the TV.